Important topics in any programming language, that is loops, and the two most common ones are for and while loop. So let's start with for loops. So as you can see on the screen, the syntax for loops is very simple. Is we have an iterator that iterates through a sequence that we have provided in the for statement. So we can put in any sequence, like any range, list, or a dictionary, tuples, anything. So for the ease of understanding, what I am doing is, I am using range, and here you can see I have used a list function against this range, which basically helps us convert the range into 1 comma 2 3. This is not something that is happening, it's just for our sake of understanding I am showing it on the screen. Now for every single value, and before that, the most important thing that you can see is that 1 is included in the list, whereas the 4 is not included. The reason being 4 is always exclusive. So within this range, the first value that you see in the function would be included in the final value, whereas the last value is exclusive. That is, one less than this particular value would be used. Now let's move ahead with the first iteration. So as you can see, the iterator value starts with 1. So this is iterator is equal to 1, and that is exactly what is being displayed here. So display space 1 is appearing because of this print statement that we have in place. Now for the second iteration, the iterator value as expected is increased to 2, and the print statement appears here, and this is what is displayed on the screen, that is display space 2. For the third bit of iteration, the iterator value is now 3, and again the print statement appears on the screen. Now, since the range ends, the loop also ends here, and the control of the program moves ahead to the different following part of the code. Okay. Coming to while loop, here basically the syntax is while is the keyword that we use. Then we put in the condition. So our condition is pretty much similar to what we had for loop. So we don't expect this loop to work after the iterator value is greater than 3. Okay. So that is why this condition is put, that we expect the iterator value to be less than 4. Then only the statements within this while loop would be executed. So let's see for the first iteration. So as you can see, for the first iteration, the iterator value is 1 is because we defined it at the first place. It checks for the condition, that is if iterator is less than 4 or not. Here for our scenario, this is true. So since it is true, the control will go inside the loop. It will display the print statement here, like display space 1. And also we have this end condition. Okay. So what here exactly we are doing is that we are incrementing the value of iterator with 1. So now once this loop ends, it ends with the iterator value increased to 2. For the second bit of iteration, we have the iterator value as 2. Again, this condition will be checked. Again, 2 is less than 4, so still it is true. And because this is true, we get into the loop. We execute whatever the statements are within that condition, within that loop, and we increase the iterator value to be 3 now. Now, for the third round of execution, the iterator value is 3. It will be compared against this condition. Again, it turns out to be true, and similarly, like before, we execute the print statement, and finally, the iterator has been increased to 4. Now, once we encounter this condition all over again, this is no more valid, and the output of this is false. So the control now moves out of the loop, and the loop ends. So this is pretty much the theoretical part of things. If let's implement it very quickly, so that things would be much more clear. So what we are doing is that for I'll select the language as Python first of all. So what you will do is, for I, let I be the iterator in range 1 comma 4, print display, display str. Since I is an integer, we have to typecast it into string. Okay, so that there isn't any unsupported issue, error coming up. Okay, so this is pretty much okay. We save it to our Python tutorial directory that been using all through session5.py. Okay, we'll go in that particular directory, click here, enter cmd, press enter. This is how it appears here. Okay, okay, now let's see if our application is there. Yes, our application is here. We'll run python session5.py. So you can see the range starts from 1 till 3. 4 is not included, and that is exactly what is displayed on the screen. Okay, okay, so let's comment this out, and now we will just quickly cover while loop as well. Let's say I is equal to 1 while I is less than 4, and we'll just copy this. We'll copy this, paste it here, and then this condition is what we can save this. As you would remember from our last session, last few sessions, this could also be written something like this. I save this, go back to my cmd, run this program, and see, we get the same results, display 1 2 3. So basically the purpose of both the loops here in our case is pretty much same. It's just that there's a syntactical difference, uh, which could be used as per requirement whenever we come across any scenarios. Okay, so yeah, that's it pretty much for the session. We'll cover the upcoming sessions in our next video. Okay, thank you so much.